Hello and welcome to Let's Learn. This video series will explain the strategy and implementation of ActiveCampaign features all in less than 15 minutes. This lesson is all about site tracking. In today's lesson, we'll cover an introduction to site tracking. We'll explain the differences between ActiveCampaign site tracking and other tools. I'll share some ways to use your site tracking data in your business and explain how it works. Then we'll jump into the platform for a demo. By the end of this training, you will understand site tracking and how to use it effectively to create more powerful customer experiences. Site tracking is a powerful feature that connects your marketing and sales processes to your website activity. It allows ActiveCampaign to see and then react in real time as contacts visit your site and view specific categories and pages. Analytics solutions, such as Google Analytics, give you statistics about website activity. It is aggregated data that is meant to identify trends and issues with your website. Site tracking, on the other hand, gives you insight into what individual contacts are doing on your site. Beyond that, and most importantly, it allows you to automatically create personalized experiences for each of your contacts as they interact with your website. Site tracking allows you to create marketing and sales processes that leverage behavioral targeting, triggered messages, and granular segmentation, all of which have proven to improve the contact experience and increase conversions. You can trigger a message with a coupon code to send 30 minutes after a contact views a product page of your site, but didn't make a purchase. You can apply a tag to indicate a contact's interest and begin a targeted follow-up sequence after 2 or more visits to a specific product category. You can fork an automation so you can treat a contact differently if they've already viewed a certain page of your site. You can trigger automations when a contact views a page on your site. You can automatically move contacts to another stage of your sales pipeline when they view 3 or more important pages on your website, such as your pricing, product, and demo pages. You can increase or decrease a contact or lead score on the basis of visits and views of specific pages. You can also personalize the content of your campaigns based on the categories of your site that a contact has repeatedly viewed using conditional content. By combining site tracking data with other behavioral data, such as email campaign opens, link clicks, and form submits, you can accurately identify exactly what information and products are most important and interesting to each contact, so you can target your cross-channel messages with content and offers you know appeal to them. This will increase the relevance of your messages, beginning a positive feedback loop that will ultimately lead to happier contacts and higher conversions. Site tracking shows you which pages on your website were visited by known contacts. To use this feature, you will need to whitelist your URL on the Settings and Tracking page in your ActiveCampaign account. We will then provide you with a small snippet of tracking code. You need to add this code to the footer of every page on your site that you wish to track visits to. This tracking code allows page view data to be seen to your ActiveCampaign account. We use first-party cookies to track visits made to every page on your site that has ActiveCampaign site tracking code installed. A first-party cookie is a cookie that is created by the domain that the contact is visiting. When the contact visits your site, their web browser saves data files to their computer under the website's name. This provides transparency to your contacts about where these tracking cookies came from and where their information is being stored. First-party cookies cannot be shared or transferred from website to website. This is to protect the security of your contacts. If you have multiple websites listed in your ActiveCampaign account that use site tracking, contacts will need to be identified for each site in order to track their page visits. To associate page view data with a contact, that contact needs to be identified. This allows us to link page visits with their email address. Page visit data is then stored in your account and is made available on the contact's profile record and in the floating segment builder. There are 3 ways contacts are identified via site tracking. First, anytime a contact clicks on a link in a campaign. The page that the contact goes to when they click on a link in your campaign must be whitelisted in your ActiveCampaign account and have site tracking code installed. We add a parameter to each link in your email that directs contacts to a page on your site that has site tracking installed. This parameter appears as VGO_EE equals garbled text in the URL bar when a contact clicks on that link in your email. The garbled text is the encrypted email address of the contact. This allows us to identify the contact who clicked on your campaign link and visited your web page. This parameter disappears from the URL bar as soon as the page loads. The next site tracking method is when a contact submits a form created in ActiveCampaign. When a contact submits your ActiveCampaign form, they need to redirect to a page on your website that has site tracking code installed. The default thank you page for ActiveCampaign forms will not generate a tracking cookie for your contacts. Note that if the form has double opt-in enabled, page views will not be tracked for visitors until they complete the opt-in process. We are not able to identify visitors who submit a third-party form. Last, you can dynamically insert the email address of known visitors into the tracking code. If you've already identified a contact by their email address, you can insert their email address into the site tracking JavaScript code. This requires some coding skills, and you can find more information in our help articles. Now, we're going to jump into the platform and take a look at site tracking. To find site tracking in your ActiveCampaign account, start from the home page. Click on Settings in the left-hand menu. The Settings menu will expand. Click the Tracking option. Under Site Tracking, click the Enable toggle to set it to the On position. In the Whitelist and Install Code section of the page, type your website URL, excluding the HTTP, into the Add Website URL field. Then click the Add button. Include all website pages will be selected by default. This means that each page on your domain will be whitelisted. You can add each domain and subdomain you wish to site tracking. To install site tracking code on your site, click the Tracking Code box located on the Settings and Tracking page and copy it to your clipboard. Next, paste the site tracking code into the footer of your page on your website that you want to track. We recommend placing the code in the footer because this is the easiest way of having site tracking work on all pages. However, if you are using ActiveCampaign web personalization, the tracking code should go in the header of your site. You will need to review the documentation provided by your content management system to be sure that the placement of the code is correct. In addition, they may provide a solution that allows you to only paste the code once and have it display on all pages. And that's all there is to site tracking. Happy tracking!